Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this dress for a little girl between 2 and 3 years using a 3.5mm crochet hook and light number 3 baby yarn. You can also make it a little bigger from 3 to 4 years. Just use a 4.5mm crochet hook with light number 3 baby yarn. I recommend that you use cotton yarn if you can, especially if you plan to make it for the summertime. The design of this little dress is based on this one here that I showed you about a week ago. This one here is for a baby between 0 and 12 months. I'll leave the link up here if you like to watch that too. Okay, so let me give you a little close-up. Here it is. This is what it looks like up close, and that's the bottom. I used about 150 grams in the color white and about 25 grams in the color blue. You may need less or more depending how long you make it. And there it is on the back. That's what it looks like. And here's our little dress. Okay, and remember that the sizes that I give you, they're not exact since not all babies are the same size. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook and I'll be using this light number 3 baby yarn. For those of you who ask, I'll be using Lion Brand Baby Soft. It's a light number 3 in the color white and light blue. We're going to use two colors. I recommend that you use cotton yarn since this is a summery dress. Okay, so to begin, I have 138 chains. And this chain here measures 80 centimeters, which is about 31.5 inches. So on the second chain from the hook, I'm going to make one single crochet onto the next chain, and one single crochet onto each one of these chains. Continue like this, one single crochet on every chain. At the end of this first row, you should have a total of 137 single crochets. I'll meet you at the end to show you the second row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have a total of 137 single crochets. Now for the second row, we're going to chain one, we're going to turn. Into this first single crochet, I'm going to make one single crochet. Into the next single crochet, I'm going to make a bean stitch. Now the bean stitch that I'm going to make is going to be with 6 loops. So to make that, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. 6 loops on my hook, close, chain one. Again, skip one single crochet and into the next, one more bean stitch. Okay, 6 loops, close, chain one. We're going to do this until we have a total of 8 bean stitches. So continue like this until you have a total of 8 bean stitches, separated by one single crochet. Okay, I did my 8 bean stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, separated by one single crochet. So now here, we're going to skip one single crochet and into the next, I'm going to make 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain one, and then again into the same space, 2 more double crochets. Okay, here's our first corner. Now I'm going to skip one single crochet and into the next I'm going to make one bean stitch. Same thing, 6 loops, close, chain one, and then again skip one and into the next, one more bean stitch. 6 loops, close, chain one. You're going to do this until you have a total of 16 bean stitches separated by one single crochet. So I'll meet you back once we have our 16 bean stitches. Okay, I have my 16 bean stitches separated by one single crochet. So now here I'm going to skip one single crochet and into the next I'm going to make again one corner fan. So 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain one, 2 double crochets. Okay, skip one single crochet and into the next, one bean stitch, 6 loops, close, chain 1, and again skip one single crochet and into the next, again 1 bean stitch. For this side, we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did here on this side where we have 16 bean stitches. So we have 2 separated by 1 single crochet, so continue until you have a total of 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. Okay, so I'll see you once we have our 16 bean stitches. Okay, I've made my 16 bean stitches again, separated by 1 single crochet, and now here we're going to make 1 corner fan. So I'm going to skip 1 single crochet, and into the next I'm going to make 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay. And then now here I'm going to skip 1 single crochet, and into the next I'm going to make 1 bean stitch. For this next side, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to make 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. So I'll meet you back once we have, again, 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. Okay, I finished making my 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet again. So now I'm going to skip 1 single crochet, and into the next I'm going to make my corner fan, which is just 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, and now here we're going to make 8 bean stitches. So skip 1 and into the next single crochet, make your bean stitch, chain 1, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, a bean stitch. So make your 8 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. I'll come back and show you how we're going to complete this row and then start on our 3rd row. Okay, I finished making my 8 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. You should be left with 1 single crochet here at the end. So I cut my yarn because I'm going to change colors for this next row. So here I'm going to insert my hook into this last single crochet, pull up a loop, and I'm not going to close this single crochet with the same color. If you're not going to change colors, all you need to do is just close your single crochet, chain 1, and turn, okay? But since I'm going to change colors, I'm not going to close my single crochet with the same color. I'm going to close it with my blue color here. So I'm going to introduce this loop and then close my single crochet with the blue color. So now here I'm going to chain 1, turn, and what I'm going to do here into this first single crochet is I'm going to make a single crochet right on top, just like this. And now between each bean stitch we have these 2 little holes. We're going to make single crochets into this first one and into the second little hole. So beginning here, you're going to make 1 single crochet here and 1 single crochet into the next. So for each bean stitch right in the middle, you're going to make a single crochet and a single crochet. And again into the next, single crochet, single crochet. Just like this until we come to the first corner fan. So just single crochets. Okay, so this is my last bean stitch. So here into this space I have my 2. Okay, so now we have our corner fan. So we have 2 double crochets right on top. We're going to make 1 single crochet. On top of the next, 1 single crochet. Inside the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet. And then we have the next 2 double crochets, same thing, 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet. Okay, so one thing here, for each corner fan, don't forget to make a single crochet between the fan and the first bean stitch. So right in the middle, right here, you're going to make one single crochet. We're going to make the single crochet because right here, right in between this and this, there's one single crochet right there. Okay, you're going to do this for this fan, for this corner fan right here, for the next corner fan right here, and for this last corner fan right there. Okay. Okay, so now here you're just going to continue along making a single crochet, and then again single crochet, single crochet. Okay, so for each, when you pull your bean stitches, this one and this one right in the middle, you're going to make 2 single crochets. Okay, so this is all you're going to do for this third row. Continue like this. I will meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm almost done with this third row. So now to complete this part here, this is our last bean stitch. So into this little space that's right here, you're only going to make 1 single crochet, and then on top of this first single crochet, you're going to make 1 single crochet, but I'm not going to close it with the same color because here again I'm going to switch back to the white color. But if you're not switching colors, all you have to do is just close, chain 1, and turn. Okay, but since I'm going to change colors, I'm going to not close it. I've already cut my yarn, and here I'm going to introduce this white color again. So with this, I'm going to close my single crochet and make 1 chain. Okay, so for the fourth row, chain 1, turn, and into this first single crochet that's right here, you're going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, and now, oh, one thing I forgot to mention is when you're counting your single crochets to make sure that you have a total of 137, make sure that you do not count these 2 double crochets here and here. So 4 double crochets. For each fan, you're only going to count 1 single crochet, because if you count these 2 for each fan, you're going to have way more than 137 single crochets. The reason is we only used 1 single crochet to make this fan, so you're only going to count 1 single crochet. Okay, so now here for the fourth row, we just did 1 single crochet into the first single crochet. So now into the next single crochet, we're going to make our bean stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, same thing, 1 bean stitch. We're going to do this until we have a total of 8 bean stitch, which is the same number we have here on this second row. Okay, so continue like this. I'll meet you back once we have our 8 bean stitch. Okay, I finished making my 8 bean stitches. So now here I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3 single crochets and onto the 4th single crochet, which is exactly the one that's right on top this fan. So right there, I'm going to make the same thing. I'm going to make a fan. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, and now here I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and into the 4th single crochet, I'm going to make my first bean stitch for this next side. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, 1 bean stitch. Okay, you're going to do this for a total of 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. So I will meet you here once we have our 16 bean stitches to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished my 16 bean stitches for this other side, and now here we have our next fan. We're going to do the exact same thing we did here, which is we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth single crochet, I'm going to make this corner fan. So again, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, and then now here we're going to skip again 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth I'm going to work my first bean stitch for this next side. Okay, and there it is, chain 1 and close. Okay, again skip 1 and into the next, 1 more bean stitch. Again, for this next side we're going to make 16 bean stitches, and we're going to work them in the exact same way you worked these 16 that we just did. Okay, I'm not going to show you this part anymore because I think you get the hang of it. So you work your 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. When you come here to the next fan, we're going to do the exact same thing we just did here, and then continue working again 16 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. And then again, our next fan, you do the exact same thing, and then work these remaining 8 bean stitches. I will meet you here at the end to show you how we're going to complete this 4th row and then start on our 5th row. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished making these last 8 bean stitches separated by 1 single crochet. So now here, to complete this 4th row, all you're going to do is make 1 single crochet on top of this last single crochet of your previous row. But I'm not going to close this with the same color. I'm going to now introduce my other color. But if you're not changing colors, all you're going to do is close your single crochet, chain 1, and turn. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to change colors. So here I'm just going to introduce this blue color. So I'm going to close my single crochet with the blue color, and I'm going to chain 1. Okay, so for the 5th row, chain 1, turn, and into this first single crochet I'm going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, and then between each of these 2 bean stitches right in the middle, we're going to make single crochet, single crochet. Into the next, same thing, single crochet, single crochet. Into the next, single crochet, single crochet. Okay, remember that for this row we are going to need a total of 137 single crochets, and remember not to count the single crochets that are on top of the double crochets of our corner fans. Just count 1 stitch. Okay, I'm here just about to work this first fan. So we're going to do the exact same thing. On top of the first double crochet, make 1 single crochet. On top of the next, make 1 single crochet. Inside the chain 1 space of the fan, make 1 single crochet, and then single crochet, single crochet. Okay, and if you remember here, we need to make 1 single crochet between this first bean stitch and the fan. You're going to do this for the next 3 fans. Don't forget to do that single crochet there. Okay, and then just continue making single crochets between each bean stitch. So there's going to be 2 single crochets. Okay, I'm not going to show you the rest. Just continue like this. It's exactly how we worked this 3rd row. Okay, I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm almost done with this row of single crochets. Now to complete here this row, you just have to make 1 single crochet into this last space here of this last bean stitch. And then we're going to finish with a single crochet here at the very end. Okay, just like this. I'm not going to close my single crochet with the same color because I'm going to switch back to this white color. But you know that you don't have to do this. You just finish closing with the same color that you want to continue, and chain one. Okay, chain one, turn. Okay, so now for this final row, we're going to make bean stitches. Okay, here on top of this first single crochet, we're going to make one single crochet. And now here into the next single crochet, we're going to make a bean stitch. Okay, chain one. And then same thing, skip one and into the next, a bean stitch. I'm not going to show you this whole row because it's exactly the same as the second row and the fourth row. Okay, so skip one and into the next, a bean stitch. And you're going to do this until you have 8, and each one is going to be separated by one single crochet. Okay, so once you get here, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and onto the fourth, which is this very top one, you're going to make this fan, 2 double crochets, 1 chain, 2 double crochets, and then you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth, which is this one here. You're going to make your first bean stitch for this side, and then you're going to make 16 separated by one single crochet. And then when you come here to the next fan, you're going to do the exact same thing you did here, and so on until you're done, all the way to the very end. I will meet you here to show you how we're going to complete this row and then show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. Here to finish, I'm just going to make one single crochet, and then we're done with this part. So now we're going to work single crochets along this side and then along the top. Don't worry if you think that this is too wide. We're going to make some reductions up here, so you'll see that it'll all work out. So here we're going to chain one, and into this first single crochet that I just did, I'm going to make one single crochet. And then into this little space, one single crochet. Don't worry about these remaining threads that we have here. We're going to hide them with a needle once we're done. So into this single crochet, one single crochet, into this little space, one single crochet, and then here's another single crochet, and here's the last, let's see, there's one here, and this here is the first chain stitch that we have for the top. So into this space we're going to make 2 single crochets. Okay, and now we're going to work along the neckline into each one of these stitches that we have here. These are remaining stitches from the chains that we did, and then we did single crochets. So these are the remaining stitches. So there, on this first one, I'm going to make one single crochet. Into the next, I'm going to make a stitch reduction, and to do that, you insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops, close. Into the next one, make a single crochet. Into the next, make a stitch reduction. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops, close. Okay, you're going to alternate between making single crochets and your stitch reduction, just like this. Okay, so continue like this all the way to the very end. I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I did one single crochet into this last stitch that we have, and then again I'm going to make one more into the same space because I'm going to turn to go down. So into these stitches that are on the side, we're going to make one single crochet, just like this, and don't worry about these ends. We're going to hide them once we're done. So single crochet, and then here single crochet, and then here this is the first single crochet of this last row of bean stitches, So in there I'm going to make 1 single crochet, and there it is. Okay, so now here I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to go back making single crochets just like this to the top of the neckline. Okay, so once you're here to the very top, which is the last stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet, chain 3, this is going to be a buttonhole, and go back into the same space and make 1 single crochet. And now here into this next single crochet, I'm going to make a single crochet, single crochet. Okay, and then now here into the next 2, we're going to work a stitch reduction. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next, pull up a loop, close. Okay, and now here we're going to make 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and into the next 2, work a stitch reduction. Okay, so you're going to alternate between making 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next 2, a stitch reduction. Okay, so continue like this, alternating just like I did between 3 single crochets and a stitch reduction until you finish at the end. So I will meet you there to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished here, so I'm just going to make 1 more single crochet into that same space, which is the last single crochet. Now here I'm just going to go down and work single crochets into each one of these stitches that we have here. Just like this. Okay, and then here, this is the first space that we have here at the beginning, so I'm going to make 1 single crochet, and then I'm going to make 1 more, but I'm not going to close it because I'm going to change colors to make this last row of single crochets, just like we did on these 2 rows of these 2 light blue color rows. Okay, so here I'm not going to close, but if you're not changing color, you don't need to do this. You just continue with closing your single crochet. So just going to introduce this loop and close this single crochet with this light blue color. And I've cut my yarn here, so I'm just going to pull that. And so here I'm going to make 1 single crochet into this very first space that's here, and then 1 single crochet here into this space right next to the bean stitch. Okay, and now here we're going to do the exact same thing we did when we worked single crochets here between each row of bean stitches. So between each bean stitch we have these 2 little holes, so in there you're going to make 2 single crochets, into the next, same thing, 2 single crochets, just like this. Right here. Okay, so I'm almost here to the first fan. So remember that we're going to work 1 single crochet on top of the first, double crochet, 1 single crochet on top of the next, 1 single crochet inside the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet into the next, double crochet, 1 single crochet onto the next, double crochet. And now here, remember, we do a single crochet between this first bean stitch and the fan, right here, right in the middle. And then we just continue along, making our 2 single crochets between each bean stitch. Okay, so continue along like this. I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I just need to work these 2 single crochets. So here I'm going to go in and make a single crochet, but I'm not going to close it with the same color. Instead, I'm just going to introduce again my main color here and close it with that color. Okay, and now here into the next space, this one here, I'm going to make a single crochet. Okay, so now this is going to be, this here, once we turn, is going to be the right side. Okay, so now we're going to join, make sure that it's not twisted. So this other end, we're going to put it on top just like this. And I'm going to let go of this loop. And here we have this side. So we have one stitch here and this next stitch. I'm going to introduce my hook into the second stitch and pull this loop through this stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3 and turn. Okay, so now here I'm going to go back into this stitch that's right here, the first one on this side, which is the right side, and go through the other stitch, which is this last one on this other side, and make a double crochet. Okay, and now we're joined. So now what we're going to do for this row is we're going to work 2 double crochets onto each one of these single crochets until we come here to the very top of this fan. Okay, so let me show you. So into this next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochets into the same space, 2 double crochets into the next, 2 double crochets into the next, and so on until you come to the first fan at the very top. Okay, so continue like this. I will meet you back right here once we're done with these double crochets. Okay, I finished making my double crochets. I have a total of 41 double crochets, including the 3 chains. One thing here, into this single crochet that's right on top of this first fan, I only did 1 double crochet. Okay, so now here I chained 16. This is going to be one of the sleeves, so chain 16, and then we're going to skip this part here, and right on top of this next fan, inside this very top single crochet, I'm going to make 2 double crochets. On this side, I'm going to make 2 on this fan. And then I'm just going to continue along making 2 double crochets into each one of these single crochets. So continue like this. I will meet you here on this other side to show you how we're going to divide this next sleeve. Okay, I finished making these double crochets on this front side. I did 2 double crochets here on top of this single crochet that's right on top of this fan. So here I also chained 16, and now we're going to divide the next sleeve. So we're going to skip these stitches, and right on top of the next fan, right here on this single crochet, I'm going to make 1 double crochet. We're only going to make 1. So into the next here, yes, we're going to do 2 now. Okay, so just continue making 2 double crochets for each one of these single crochets until you come to the end. I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished this other side. I have a total of 39 double crochets here at the end. So now here, to complete this first row, I'm just going to join to the top of the first double crochet, not to the 3 chains, but into the first double crochet right on top with a slip stitch. And now here we are joined. Okay, so now here I'm going to turn with the yarn in front of me. I'm going to make a slip stitch into this first stitch that I have here. So insert your hook and just make a slip stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3 and into the same space I'm going to make 2 double crochets. Okay, including these 3 chains, I have 3 double crochets now. Chain 1 and back again into the same space, 1 double crochet. And here I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th double crochet I'm going to make the same stitch. So 3 double crochets, that's 2, 3, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And then again repeat the same thing, skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, 3 double crochets, 1 chain, 1 double crochet. This is the same stitch that we used for the other little dress. So continue like this. I will meet you around here to show you how we're going to work the same stitch under the sleeve. So I'll meet you here. Okay, I finished making these fans here, and then here what I did was I have my fan here. Okay, so since we're skipping 3 stitches and then into the 4th we make our fan, notice that into the chains I made 1 fan. So I counted 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th stitch, which is the 2nd chain, I made the fan. Okay, and now here the same thing. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th I'm going to make a fan. So there's nothing different. You just continue with the same sequence. You skip 3 stitches and into the 4th you make your fan. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Okay, and now here 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th again 1 more fan. One thing here, make sure that you insert your hook into both loops of the chain so that your stitch doesn't get all stretched out. So chain 1 and then back again, single crochet, double crochet. Okay, again skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th make your next fan. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and then here we have 1 chain, 2, 3, and into the 4th, which is the 3rd double crochet on this side. I'm going to make my fan for this next side. This is all you need to do. It's very easy. So continue like this. Just skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th stitch. In this case, double crochets, you make your fan. Chain 1, double crochet. Okay, you're going to do the same thing, continue with the same sequence under here on these chains. So do the same thing we just did. I'll meet you here at the end. We may need to make some adjustments depending on where your last fan is going to be. So I'll meet you here to show you how you're going to work that side. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished making my last fan and I have 2 stitches left. I'm not going to do anything differently. I'm just going to join here to the beginning of these 3 chains with a slip stitch. And this is how we complete the 2nd row. Now, you're going to do the exact same thing for every row. Once you're done, this is how you're going to finish each row, just making a slip stitch to the 3 chains. And then you're going to turn. So for the next 20 rows approximately, I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, so I'll leave the number of rows that I'm going to do right here. You're going to do the following to begin each row. Remember to always turn on each row. So into this first double crochet, you're going to make 1 slip stitch. Inside the chain 1 space, you make a slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 3. Inside this chain 1 space, you're going to make a double crochet, double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So in every chain 1 space you're going to do the exact same thing. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet. This is all you're going to do for the next I'd say 20 rows of fans. So if I do more, I'll leave the number here. I'll meet you at the end of this number of rows to show you what we need to do next. And remember, to finish each row, all you are going to do is join here to the beginning of these 3 chains with a slip stitch turn and then work a slip stitch onto the first double crochet and then inside the chain one space, and then you make your fan. So I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 29th row. Okay, I did a total of 24 rows in white. This is what it looks like. These are fan rows, so I did a total of 24 fan rows, and then I changed colors and I did this row in light blue, then changed colors again in white, and then blue, white, and then here blue. I'm only going to do these 3 rows in this light blue. So here, to change colors, I just inserted my hook here where I have these 3 chains. I pulled a loop with the color blue, and I pulled a loop in the color white. In this case, white is the new color. So I pulled 2 loops and I just made a slip stitch like this. Okay, and then here I let go of the blue and I grabbed my white, and with the white I turned and just continued making my slip stitch on top of this first double crochet like this, a slip stitch inside the chain one space, and did 3 chains and worked my first fan here inside this first chain one space, just like this. The only thing is that I had to cut for each row my yarn, but we can always hide this once we're done. So that's how I joined for every row for these 3 rows that I did in this light blue. Okay, but to complete this final row, I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 or 2, but I'm just going to keep the same color, this light blue. So here, let me finish this last double crochet. I'm just going to join here to the beginning with a slip stitch and then chain 1 and then turn. Okay, so we have this first double crochet right here. I'm going to make a single crochet inside the chain 1 space. I'm going to make a single crochet and 1 single crochet on top of each one of these 3 double crochets. We're only going to make single crochets right now, so this is all we're going to do. So here's a double crochet, so single crochet inside the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet, and then these 3 double crochets, I'm going to make 1 single crochet. This is all we're going to do for each of these fans, so continue like this all around. I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of single crochets. Now here I'm going to change colors to this white, so I'm just going to insert my hook into this first single crochet. I'm going to let go of this blue and bring this loop through the front and close my single crochet with the white color. And now here I'm just going to chain 1, chain 1, and into this first single crochet that's right here, we're going to go through one side, come out the other, and make a front post single crochet. Then into the next, same thing, a front post single crochet. This is all we're going to do, just making a front post single crochet on each one of these single crochets that we just did. We're going to do this all around, just front post single crochets. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you want to continue making more rows to make your dress longer, before you do these 2 rows, you can do that. I just decided to do these 29 rows, so you can continue making more rows if you want to make it longer. Okay, so just continue like this, making front post single crochets all around. I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next, and this is what this row looks like. There it is. See, it gives it a very pretty trim at the bottom. Okay, so I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I did my last front post single crochet, and to complete this row, I'm just going to join here to the beginning with a slip stitch. I've cut my yarn, so I'm just going to pass this through this last loop. Okay, and part here is done. All we have to do now is just hide our ends, and this is what it looks like all around. Okay, so now here we're going to do the exact same thing here around the neckline. I just feel like I should have done a row of in this other color when we were doing the neckline, but it's not a problem. We're going to do that now. So here, this is where I have my button, and into this last stitch right there, I'm going to bring this loop through the front and chain one. Okay, and into this first single crochet that's right there, I'm going to make the same thing, a front post single crochet. Then into the next, same thing, a front post single crochet, and we're going to do this all around the neckline. This is just a decorative row. You don't have to do this, but I just want to do it so that I have some light blue around the collar. Okay, so continue like this all around, just making front post single crochets. This is what it looks like. I think it makes it look nicer, so I will meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. I think I'm going to do something around here, the sleeve, so I'll show you that part next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished here by making a slip stitch and then just passing my yarn through that last loop. Okay, and this is what it looks like. One thing here, I noticed that my collar has reduced a little than what it was because of this row of front post single crochets. If you think that it's too small, then don't use a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Just use maybe a 4 millimeter crochet hook or a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, and that'll help it a little, you know, to prevent from shrinking around the collar. But I actually like it. I think it's perfect for a 3-year-old. Okay, so now that we finished the collar, what we're going to do here around is I'm going to just make a row in this white color down here of single crochets, and then I'm going to come back and make a row of front post single crochets in the light blue. Okay, so here I'm just going to introduce this loop. Let's see. And chain one. Then I have this double crochet, so in there I'm going to make 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then I have these 2 chains here. I'm going to make 2 single crochets. Then I have this fan. I'm going to split it in half, and right in the middle I'm going to insert my hook and make a single crochet. Then I think these are 3 chains. I'm going to make 3 single crochets. Then I have another fan, same thing, split it in half and make a single crochet. And then here, oh, and this, the side that we're doing this on is the back. So on one side, here's our button, so right here on one side. And then again, just continue making 3 single crochets. And here we have this fan, and again 3 chains, so I make 3 single crochets, another fan, split it in half, so, and these I think is just 2 chains, so just 2 single crochets, just like the beginning. And then here we have this double crochet, so make 3 single crochets. And then now here I'm just going to join to the beginning here and make a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass this through this last stitch. And there it is. One thing here, if you think that this here is too wide and you want to reduce it a little, then don't cut your yarn, just come back and make a single crochet and then a reduction, single crochet and then a reduction all around, just like we did around the collar. Okay, but I'm fine with the way that mine is, so here I'm just going to make another row in this other color. So I'm going to insert my hook into this single crochet space and bring this loop through the front and make 1 chain. Again, this is just a decorative row and not necessary, okay? So this first single crochet that's here, I'm going to make a front post single crochet. Then I have this first single crochet here in this color white. Just going to do the same thing, a front post single crochet, and I'm just going to continue like this all around, making a front post single crochet on each one of these single crochets that we just did. So continue like this all around. I will meet you here once it's done to show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you our dress. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished making this row of front post single crochets all around this part here of the sleeve, and here it is. This is what it looks like. I just need to finish hiding some of my ends, and this is what the sleeve looks like once it's done. And here's a neckline. That's what it looks like. I already put a little button in the back, and here's the other one. I already did it. That's what it looks like. And here is the bottom, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to put it in a hanger, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's a little dress. It's done. I love the way that it turned out. I love the border down here at the bottom. And like I said, you can make more rows or you can make less rows. I did a total of 29 rows. I did 24 in white, and then I did these additional ones down here. So let me give you a close-up. Here it is. That's what it looks like. That's the bottom and the back. There it is. And here are the sleeves. And that's the bottom on the other side. Okay. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you get to make this little dress. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.